Hello guys, welcome back to this clown's garage. In this video I will show you how to straighten out a bolt. As you can see, this one is hanging to the left, and I know a lot of you guys have that problem, so I'm here to fix this for you. You can repay me later. Now, ever work on something and, for example, let's say it's a suspension piece, or say you have something bolted, it's like a through bolt, and you undo the nut on the other side and somehow it bends because there's tension on it when you take it out, and you can't put it back in or you can't thread anything back on it, and you really can't go to the Home Depot or hardware store to get into the bolt because either they're too far or the car you're working on is out of commission. Well, this is what I do. First thing is, if it's really bent a lot, I just take a piece of paper towel and wrap it a couple times across the threads. Of course, before you do that, make sure you know where the bolt is pointing, so when you put it in the vise, you put it in the right way. So this is just to protect the threads and really straighten out a little bit so you can actually work with it. Now, if you don't have a vise, you could also maybe make two plates or whatever and put it between a car and a jack and start jacking it up a little bit. Take a little makeshift vise, and that's just enough to actually straighten out a little bit. And as you can see here, the threads are good. Next thing I do is I grab a nut that's the size of the thread, the same pitch as the threads in the bolt, and you thread it in, and you're going to see where it bends. It's not going to go further, so you just leave it there. And make sure you know where, this case, this is pointing towards me, so when I put it on the actual vise, I know to hammer it that way. And also, you might have to move the actual nut a little bit so you can put it in exactly where you want the bolt. Right there. Next thing I do is I take a socket in this case. Now be very careful because you could actually damage the threads. Strip the bolt a little bit, so be careful how you hammer this. Don't hammer it too hard. Now I'm just gonna move it over, so I gotta whack it this way now. I have more room this way, that's why I'm doing that. So when you put in the vise, you're gonna see the bolt pointing that way. Your aim is to make this point straight. So let's do that. Now what I'm doing is I'm hitting the actual socket and the head of the bolt over here a little bit. And that actually straightened out a little bit. Let's take this out. Let's see what happened. Alright. Now it still needs a little bit. This is pretty much straight up to here. Let's do it up here a little bit. So I'm throwing it a little more up. Let's try this again. Now I'm just going to thread it down. Right there, it's also, it needs some over there. So let me go back on this. You can tell when it needs some because it starts to tighten over here. this is a little, needs a little patience. You can see that all that is straight. Once it threads good, it's straight. And you just keep on going with it. Undo it a little bit. So you need some patience here. It's not going to happen first couple of shots. Stop right there. I'll show you what this looks like in a second. Look at that. Now all that's good because it wouldn't be threading through it if it wasn't. And the purpose of the nut, of course, is to protect the threads. And as you can see, the whole thing went through it. So, it's straight. That's right. And your girlfriend won't complain anymore because it's onto one side. So, thanks for watching my videos. Check like underneath. Also, while you're down there, you can do a bunch of other stuff if you want. I don't care. There's plenty of this clown to go around. Also, subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe, and you'll be updated on any future videos. So why not subscribe? And check out NewYorkThirdgen.com. That's www.nythirdgen.com for cars like these. Some of the fastest, nicest Thirdgens in New York. Thanks for watching, and toodles!